I'm Jamie from Aduco Gym. As part of our interview series, I caught up with Mary Delaney Page, a client of Aduco Gym Bagot Street, and then Aduco Gym Online. Mary has achieved incredible results. Watch this video to find out all about how she achieved her results.
Yeah, it's very inspiring actually. It's a great thing. I wish people could feel the way I feel now, you know. I wish I could pass that on because it's amazing. I suppose it was November, I think the date was about November 19th, 20th. And I suppose most people don't really join a gym just before Christmas when the Christmas rush is on. But I thought if I don't do it now, I'll never do it. So I was very, very overweight and sort of, I suppose, very low esteem and down in the dumps about it. I had talked a lot for years. I think I'd been putting on weight. It maybe started about 2010, 2011. I had been slowly putting on weight, doing diets here and there, but nothing ever really worked. No program really ever did it for me. I had a fear of gyms, and I was, I suppose, lazy as well. I can add that in, but I hit a stage where I just had enough. I'd say I'd been away on a holiday in the October with this couple of friends and their 4 kids, their teenage kids, and I had seen a photograph of myself, and it was so bad, and I went, that's it. Even though it was just before Christmas, I went, if I don't do it now, I'll never do it. So my brother, my daughter, really, really convinced me that Sunday. So on the Monday, I researched a few places. The Tuesday, I think I was in with Madeline, and then the Wednesday, I was starting a program with a trainer. And I've never really looked back since then. The weight basically, I was 16 stone, 7 pounds when I walked in that day. And I was introduced to a trainer. It was Mark, and he was absolutely brilliant. And I sort of went on the scales after. There was a lot of consultation, things like that. But I suppose you get weighed and you get measured, which I suppose I didn't expect, but I'm glad it did happen because it sort of reality kicked in a wee bit of the situation I was in. And I remember looking at him and saying, I'm never going to be this weight again. That's the last time I'm ever going to weigh 16 stone 7. So I just made it my passion that day to get it off. I suppose I have my brother to thank. I was going back to Dublin on a Sunday afternoon. I had my brother and my daughter in the car with me, and my brother had been to the Aduco gym in Dundrum, and he was singing its praises and saying how good it was and that he was getting great results. So I listened to him, but I had done a little bit of research myself, and I basically was going on the nearest one to where I was living at the time. But there was something about Aduco and what he had said, you know, the way they did things slightly differently, made me just walk in. And I decided that day, yeah, I was going to do that. Walked in, and I think it was Madeline who I met there at the reception, and she was great. She says, okay, we've all these different programs for you. And she went down through everything. And she said, you'll have to come back the following day for consultation with a trainer, and they'll go through your health history, you know, a proper consultation with you and discuss things with you and put you on a program that will suit you. So I decided, right, okay, I'll come back the next day. I made an appointment to come back and talk to a trainer. And that was basically what it was. It was really my brother, I suppose, I can thank for getting me into Duke, because he's such a good experience in the Dundrum one. He's since moved away, well, temporarily moved away from there. But it was basically my brother convinced me to pick Aduco. I was working from Monday to Friday, which worked out fine. I was doing the 20-minute sessions. The program I started on was basically the nutrition was, I suppose, the big thing for me. It was something I needed to address. He had told me to you know, get a schedule, get a sort of a life plan in order, and get it into my head first. Clear the old head of all your negative thoughts, clear all the worries about your weight, get a new program into your head, get a new focus, a new idea, a new line of thinking, and get use I suppose your mind to work your muscles and your body then in the training for the 20 minutes to help encourage, you know, the weight loss. So I suppose the nutrition thing was a big thing I had to start on first. I started on a keto, which is what they recommend, a kickstart diet. And he basically handed me out, you know, a 2-page sheet, I suppose a 4-page sheet on the different foods you eat morning, afternoon, and evening. And you have to stick rigidly to this, which I suppose I struggled with a wee bit at the beginning, because I was saying to myself, oh, can I have peas with this, and can I have sweet corn? And I didn't know that. I made a few mistakes at the beginning. That's something I would say to people, you know, stick religiously to the plan that you're given, whatever it may be. So it was a keto one I was given. It was a Kickstarter keto. And he handed me, I suppose, a folder, or he didn't hand me a folder. He gave me a load of recipes and that to try it as well, because which are part of the Kickstarter plan, to build up muscle and to fat burn, which is basically the main thing. When you are eating lots of carbohydrates and all the wrong foods, you're burning a lot of energy, and that needed to change to burning fat. So protein needed to be in my diet a lot more, and I needed to up that, maybe an intake of fats at the beginning, so that I could burn that off, and it would make training a bit easier because I would have more energy. And I wouldn't be burning energy from eating rubbish, eating carbohydrates, cut back on all of that. So I cut out like potatoes, rice, bread. You know, you feel very full. That was the funny thing. On keto, I never felt hungry. I never, like other diets, I never craved food. I always felt, and there is a 3 and 4 stages that you can eat in the day, but I really only found myself ever eating the 2 meals a day because I was more than satisfied with the food I was intaking, you know. And then the training was great. I mean, there was a lot of resistance, a lot of weight training, which I balked at the idea and thought, how am I ever going to lift these? But they start you off on doable lifts, I suppose, and very simple. And it's a very short, sharp training session of 20 minutes. And you're no sooner in, you do your warm-ups for 5 minutes, and then you're straight into the machines. And I find them very, very, very easy, because at the beginning I find them like ridiculously easy. I thought, this is fine. If I can do this every day for 5 days, I know they were going to build in it, and it was going to get tougher and tougher, but it was a slow progression for me, and it worked very well for me. So the 20 minutes on, I suppose it's based a lot on resistance training, a little bit of cardio and that. And that worked very well for me, because I think if I'd walked in and seen rows of treadmills and things like that, that can be a little bit intimidating and and I didn't see any of that. I just saw something that I could work with, you know, they call it the time machine, and you just work around and you work different areas, arms and shoulders one day, and then another day you'll work your abs, or another day legs, and different areas of the body, and shoulders and that. And I felt that really worked for me, because you never overwork in anything. There's different things every day, and it was, as I say, everybody can spare 20 minutes out of their life, you know, definitely. Even at home doing your own training, everyone can spare 20 minutes. I could be wrong, but I think I lost 2.5 stone in Bag Street, and the first stone came off really fast. I was really surprised at how fast. I think the keto, the first 12 day, I wasn't probably great with that one. I had 6 pounds off. That for me was great in my very first time at it. The second time I did the keto a few weeks later for 12 days, I lost 7.5 pounds. And then the third time I did it a few weeks later, I lost 8 pounds in 8 days. Wow. So I started to lose pounds quicker each time I did keto for the 12 days. But because I stuck religiously to it, I didn't veer off. You know, exactly what was on the list was all it was for me, you know. I think it was the 19th of November now, and I was there for 2 or 3 weeks, but then I didn't do any exercise really, or any nutrition. I did a little bit of nutrition and cutting back over Christmas, but this house would be very busy. It's packed with people and parties and that, so it's very hard at Christmas to concentrate on training. So I kind of parked Christmas, which is the only time in this whole 6 months that I've done nothing. I did the nutrition a little bit on days, but I also enjoyed Christmas too. Yeah. So I suppose you could say a little bit of November, and then mid-January I went back by the 15th of January to Dublin, and I trained from January then until the lockdown, which is about the 12th or 13th of March. And it was so much easier. I didn't really notice losing it, to be honest. It just came off really easy. And then the decision was, when I knew it was going to be lockdown, I thought, oh gosh, there's going to be COVID kilos, I think they're calling them, or pandemic pounds is the name. And I am not putting on. I worked very hard for those 2.5, that 2.5 stone. So what am I going to do when I get home? So that's when you guys swooped in, and you were very quick, I must say. Aduco Gym was great. They were straight in with the links and straight in with the demonstration on what they could do for me online at home, you know. Yeah. I was delighted with that, because I thought, how am I going to keep motivated, you know? Yeah. I have about 4.5 stone off to date, but I think the lower abs, 9.5 inches off the lower ab, and my upper abs have lost 7.5 inches. But I was a size 18. I'm getting into sort of an 8 now, from 18 to 8. bought a few summer dresses because nothing in the wardrobe fits.
Yeah.
And I tried on this red summer dress, and it was one of those hot sunny days, and I was like, oh my God, this is great. I
Wow.
get it, and the neighbor was like, oh my God, you look amazing. And I had a tear in my eye because it was the first time I actually felt slim and happy in
Wow.
10 years. In 10
Wow.
years, and I felt full of energy, and it's like it's transformed my life, you know.
That is amazing. God, to get that kind of result from an 18 to an age 10, I mean,
Yeah,
that's just
yeah,
amazing. So your family
yeah.
must be delighted for you.
They're great. Yeah, they're I think I'm probably wrecking their heads about it, but yeah, no, I disappear every day at 7 o'clock, and I do the training with yourself for the half an hour online. Just I suppose I pop out of bed in the morning much quicker. I've just so much energy. Just the positivity it's oozing. I don't know, the happiness. It's amazing. How every aspect of your life, you know, the head is clearer. I felt, I suppose, maybe I was going around on autopilot. Does that make sense? That
Yeah.
I wasn't me, but I was me, but I wasn't me, and needed a change. I think that day that I walked in there, I've never looked back.
Mm.
It was the best thing I ever did, and I highly recommend it for anybody out there. You know, it isn't as difficult as I thought it would be. I thought it would be very, very long. I thought say if someone had told me back in November, you'll have 4.5 stone off by June, I genuinely wouldn't have believed them at all. No, I wouldn't have believed them, and I would have thought it would have taken a year or two maybe to do something like that. When you read articles in magazines or watch the television and
Yeah.
watch people's weight loss programs, they seem to be slower, but this Sudoku system, the way they work with it, it's much quicker. It's easier, and it clears your head, and
Yeah.
yeah, the way your mind focuses on your muscle, the way you get, our heads to focus on what we're working on, you work on it better. Yeah, and then the food supplements are great if you've muscle fatigue or anything. I mean, you've got great stuff there in the Juco for the tiredness in the leg. At the beginning you get a bit tired, and I suppose these food supplements really, really help, and they too give you boosts of energy and help with circulation and heart health and
Yeah.
everything. Everything improves. Your health improves in general. Like no aches and pains now at all, and I was sore right knee going in, and it's never been sore since starting, really. For about 2 or 3 weeks after starting, it stopped being sore.
Wow.
And which is something I wouldn't have believed if someone said it to me. Your aches and pains will go away, and they did. It was obviously having an effect on the joints, the weight. I like the Amino Energize and this.
Yeah.
Really, really good. I've got the jumbo pack here. Like that, and I like the magnesium complex as well. I think that's really, really good. I think I have a little bit of heart issues that have happened to me in the past year or two. So I'm hoping with the weight loss, when I go into these cardiac doctors, that they're happy now, because I always got the lecture or the a stone or two off now, Mary, would help. And I feel now when I go in that all that hopefully will be getting better and better now.
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely.
and that they won't be giving me lectures anymore, in a nice way, in the best possible way, but they would tell me
And
off. I take the choline, I take the amino ore, and I take, I'm going to probably start taking bio oils. I've become more structured and scheduled. A lifestyle change. Yeah, I find my scheduling, I just make sure that I have that hour for myself no matter what. Yeah, I suppose a brighter outlook in general, more positivity. I don't take things as seriously anymore. I mean, I feel happier, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very inspiring, actually. It's a great thing. I wish people could feel the way I feel now. I wish I could pass that on, because it's amazing. I wouldn't have believed it until, the way you hear these things and you see people these things, or you read about these things, I should say, but you don't believe it until, I suppose, you go through it yourself. I must say, is it Dr. Martin Ford, I think is his
Yeah.
name, the nutritionist, the nutrition. I think his talks on Facebook talks have been superb. Sorry, you did one as well, actually, his circulation talk. I thought that was fantastic. It really explained a lot of things to me and made things a lot clearer, and what I should be taking to help it. But yeah, Dr. Martin Ford's they're very inspirational, very, very good, and it makes sense. What he suggests. Different things. We would suggest different food supplements to help with arthritis, help with circulation, to help with muscle fatigue, to help with, I suppose, general well-being. He's got different things for well-being, and I also watched a few of the relaxation things. Yeah, they're absolutely brilliant as well. And meditation. I mean, you guys, you don't just do, the nutrition and the training. You also do these extra little things. You're throwing in a tiny bit of yoga into some of your training things in the evening for the online. And I think it's fantastic. You're touching on every aspect of mind, body, health, and well-being. And it's a credit to you. I don't know if you get praised enough, but it is absolute. What you are providing for the public out there is absolutely brilliant. And it's in these times when I suppose there's a lot of doom and gloom. It's exactly what people need to zone out, to relax, to meditate. I couldn't recommend them highly enough.
That's brilliant.
And then the information you provide with the nutrition classes. I mean, Mark has done quite a lot of nutrition talks there online. Martin Ford has, and yourself. They've been absolutely brilliant, and very informative. And it all helps, you find yourself going to the shops and buying what makes sense, what helps your training, what helps with your muscles. You sort of get your fridge full of healthy stuff all of a sudden. You don't really notice then after a while you're just eating healthy stuff all the time. I'm on low GI at the moment, which is a little bit freer for me. You can cottage cheese and things like that. You can add in a few different cheese, like things as simple as seeds and nuts, and you can add them. I would eat plain yogurt, say, and then put some blueberries and raspberries and strawberries through it, maybe some seeds and nuts and chia seeds and things like that. I mean, they are great. Selenium and all this and ingredients in them are great for brain health and overall nutrition. Be sort of prepared for everything, and it works in your favor. It's definitely been about having just been a little bit more prepared in life. I was very scatty, I suppose, and that changed a lot, and it has made things easier. Just want to say thank you so much to Mark Young, to Angela Burns, and yourself, Jamie Myerscough, for just being so inspirational and helping me. I couldn't have done it without you guys, to be honest with you. You're just so passionate in your jobs and what you do, and even from walking in the front door, even to the receptionist, just the positivity that you can do this sort of attitude, and it was great.